Hey everybody, I am AR Mar, and what I watched today is Book 1, Episode 14 of Avatar The Last Airbender, The Fortune Teller. We start off today with a comedy scene that establishes Aang's growing crush on Katara and her view of him as just a friend. Next, we go into one of the more original creatures of this world, and I love these, the platypus bear, which, you basically take one of our platypuses and make it 9 feet tall. Scary and yet really comical at the same time. I love this design. Then again, as you know by now, I love the original animal designs in this show. And when we meet him, he's trying to tear the face off of a traveler who's just saying, he's completely unconcerned by the huge animal in front of him because the titular fortune teller told him his journey would be safe. And really, the fortune teller is right because Aang and his group managed to scare the bear off, and the man is completely safe. And it probably helped him survive up to that point that he was being completely calm and collected about what he was doing. He wasn't panicking because he knew he would be safe. So all in all, you've got that whole balance of is she really telling the future, or it's just making really good predictions, telling people what they need to hear, that kind of jazz. Of course, right away, Aang and Katara become, true believers right away. Just basically going, oh yeah, she can totally tell the future, let's go see her. And Sokka gets to play our straw man, the skeptic, who goes, you don't really believe this, do you? It feels a little like they're falling back on the old personality traits. Admittedly, Sokka is the one of the two of them that best fits the straw man role. So from there, they head off to the village, of course, because they want to head off and see the fortune teller. And the show at this point introduces a little comic relief character for the episode called Mang, who is completely smitten with Aang. Again, partly because of something the fortune teller said, and they tell us the fortune teller said this in a really clunky exposition drop. One of those pieces of dialogue that only exists to tell the audience something, and in this point, it's, another woman saying to Mang, hey, that kid has big ears. Didn't the fortune teller tell you your true love would have big ears? Just one of those, drop moments to be we need the audience to know this. Anyway, from this point on, the episode bugs me quite a bit in that Aang does some pretty shady stuff. Admittedly, I understand he's a little boy who has his first crush. He spies on Katara when she's getting her fortune read, and all this other stuff that just kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. And especially because up to now, Aang and Katara, their relationship has been very friendly, almost like siblings again, except with less fighting than Katara has with Sokka. And it feels a bit of a jarring shift for him to suddenly be this strongly smitten with her. Though, admittedly, I know how hard and fast the crush can hit. It just feels a little jarring because, again, Aang up to now has been, this totally innocent kid, and now he's being all oh, she's so beautiful, I love her. And, I don't know, it feels sudden to me. Anyway, we get to Aang's own prediction, and naturally it's just the whole, you are the Avatar, you will shape the destiny of this world. And I just love how bored he looks when he's getting that reading. He's just sitting there going, yeah, I know that part. Tell me about my love life. And admittedly, I love the look on Madame Wu's face when she hears that. She just told this kid that he will be an important, amazing person, and all he cares about is what will my love life be? Most boys his age would be wow, awesome, I'm gonna be important and save the world. So admittedly, that was a great moment. And of course, after all this, Sokka remains skeptical. He even got a reading saying, oh, you'll be the cause of all your own pain, and etc., so forth. And it's pretty much, basically saying you'll keep being your character because quite often, more often than not, the situations that Sokka gets into are his own making. And there's plenty of slapstick in this episode where he'll kick a pebble or something like that, and then it'll come back to smack him in the face. Which, admittedly, classic Sokka. I loved it. Then we get to a part where everyone's gathering in the village square. She's going to read the clouds, tell them the future of the village. It's pretty much the classic stuff. The crops will be good. People will have good luck. The village will be safe. And I really agree with Sokka in this scene, because the village sits at the foot of a huge volcano, and she's like, oh, the village will not be destroyed. And so I was like, okay, instead of trusting her, maybe we should go look and make sure the volcano is not going to go off. I mean, all this fortune telling is great, but we should verify that. That's a pretty big thing to just leave to her. Of course, nobody believes him because everyone believes in Madame Wu. And naturally, Sokka's just kind of standing there going, come on, please, listen to me. Though, I really, the devil's in the details, and it was at this point in the episode where I predicted from her phrasing, the village won't be destroyed, that something was going to happen. It's that nice vague phrasing, She didn't say the volcano wouldn't erupt. She just said the village won't be destroyed. Katara ends up annoying the heck out of the fortune teller after this, wanting to know absolutely everything. And this is a trope I love when certain characters run into a fortune teller or someone who seems to be able to predict the future for the first time. And it also happened in American Dad, where they were like, every little decision they wanted to know, how will this work out for me? Should I wear the blue socks or the red socks? Etc., down to the point where the person who can either predict the future or is pretending to predict the future just goes, enough! Just make some decisions for yourself. I can't tell you everything. And they essentially get this response like, well, why not? Should I stop asking you so many questions? Is that bad? Is something bad going to happen because I'm asking you all these questions? I mean, Katara doesn't quite get to that point before she gets kicked out, but she is just, super annoyed, being like, I had more questions. And that was really funny. That was a good break in the episode, and throughout this episode, Aang is sort of completely missing that this girl Mang is into him while he's trying to get Katara's attention, and it's this weird little parallel that, again, I'm not exactly happy with, but it does have a good payoff near the end. Right about the point where they go up to the volcano, they see, Aang and Sokka see for themselves it's going to explode. And now, they're trying to convince the villagers that it's going to explode. And so we see, this scene made some really great lines, because after all, Sokka is standing there going, Aunt Wu was wrong, the volcano is definitely going to explode. And the first response he gets, or one of the first ones, was, yeah, we all know you don't believe in Aunt Wu's science and reason, lover. That got a chuckle out of me. Just that, using someone's love of science as an insult was just wow. And then he points to the obviously smoking top of the volcano and goes, can your fortune telling explain that? Can your science explain why it rains? Yes it can. Which I love when that comes up surprisingly often when people are trying to put science against faith. Can your science explain X? 9 times out of 10 they're saying something that, yes, science can explain. It's almost a cheap trick in writing to be to put up the whole both sides have some have points to them. Blind faith is all good, but science can explain plenty. Trust but verify, that kind of thing. So Aang goes to try and get the cloud reading book so that he can basically make a symbol in the sky for Aunt Wu to convince the villagers that there is danger. And it's at this point that Mang confronts him, asking him directly, why does he like her? She cottons on pretty fast to the idea that he doesn't. She says, that's okay. I mean, it hurts, but it's okay that you don't feel for me like that. And I honestly really do like the look on Aang's face in this scene, where he kind of gets that, yeah, it hurts that Katara doesn't seem to share his crush, but it's okay. She doesn't have to. It's all in how he handles it that's important. And, Mang gives him a good example here to follow. Yeah, she's younger than him, and she's as much a kid as he is. But she just flat out says, it's okay that you don't like me. It hurts, but I understand. She is beautiful, because she's saying Aang mooning over Katara this entire episode. And yeah, I just really liked that scene. Mang is a really good character. And, she hands over the cloud book, they convince the villagers, and they try to save the town, but it doesn't quite work. Aang ends up pulling off some really impressive airbending to finish it off, using the air to shape and then cool the magma, lava. He cools the lava into magma. I think those are the right terms, to form basically a wall around the city that redirects the rest of it. And then, afterwards, Sokka says, see, Madame Wu was wrong. Or Aunt Wu, sorry, I've been saying Madame Wu this entire thing, but it's like Aunt Wu was wrong. The volcano did explode. And then the look on his face, the sheer frustration as the villagers turn to him and go, but she only said the village wouldn't be destroyed. Oh, I mean, admittedly, I love being proof correct in my predictions, but that was a great line at the end. All in all, this episode gave me some really mixed feelings, but it was a pretty good episode overall. And at the end, the part that impressed me most was it was all airbending. Aang didn't have to pull Avatar mode to save the village from the magma. He just used his airbending, and honestly, I think a little bit of waterbending when he did the air blowing move to cool the rocks, because it looked exactly like when Katara blew to freeze the water that she had thrown on Jet. Just at a far bigger scale and was something a bit harder to freeze than water. Anyhow, that's what I watched today. I'm AR Mar, and you guys all have a great night. Ta-ta.